Hey guys, this is Bruce. Welcome to this week's edition of Trade Recap. Today we're going to look at the S&P. I've got a great trade for you. We all want a trade that gets a lot of bang for the buck for a little risk. That's what we all want, right? This is a great trade setup I'm going to show you, and the thought process behind the trade is more important, so you can duplicate this yourself. So I'm looking at the ES here, where the trade is in the SPX, but this is on Thursday. The market just closed, and the market is closed for the holiday tomorrow, for Good Friday. So I did this trade today, and what I was looking for, let me show you this real quick. What I was looking for, so this is yesterday's price action. And what I was looking for is a duplicate of this, where we get a big bounce during the day. This has been happening over and over and over and over. And I have scalped this many times, right? Big bounce up, then it fades into the end of the day, right? That's the whole thought process. It's really that simple. So what's going to happen today? Big gap up here. It's going to fade into the end of the day, right? Well, it didn't, but I'm going to show you what I did to take care of that. So what I had targeted over here, you see this 6654, and I'm going to scoot back over here. This is yesterday's high on the day, 6653.75, so 6654. So whenever you're trading, and if you're doing these shorter term stuff, we have to sprinkle in the short term stuff as well. I mainly do a little bit longer term stuff, a little more conservative type stuff, but always like to make some money very quickly if we can, right? So I'm targeting that high on the day, a high from yesterday, as our high on the day today, and we didn't quite get there. We got very close, and I said if we get here, I'm going to fade this thing. I'm going to fade it back down because this has happened over and over and over and over. Let me show you this. We're going to take this out to a 20-day chart, and as you can see right here, I mean, this is a 20-day chart. We're still in a pretty steep downtrend, right? It's not over. And every one of these have been faded, every one of these, and if you go down a smaller time frame, it happens, most days too, right? Again, that's what I was thinking. I want to get the thought process behind the trade for you guys, right? So I went over here and I said, if we get up there to this level right there, I'm going to fade it, right? And all you need to do, if you don't know how to do this, right click and put create alert at or below whatever price you want to, hit create, and it'll set it up for you, right? It's that simple, right? But it just gives you a framework. When you're looking at a chart, you can just glance at it and you kind of know where you are, right? I also had all my fib levels, and this is a 15-minute chart here, but I had fib levels all day. On longer term charts, I was looking to fade this thing, right? Again, it's pretty straightforward on the, at least on the setup, right? So I came in here. How's the easiest way to fade this thing? We could do a butterfly or something like that. But I said, let's just do something really simple. And focus down here on the bottom. I know I got a bunch of stuff. Just don't pay attention to all that stuff. But down here on the bottom, I said, let's do a call credit spread. This is only a 5-point wide, 65.50, 65.55 call credit spread. And I got $4 credit. And I had it sitting there waiting for probably a couple of hours until we got up to that point. And then it tagged it. We didn't quite get to the thing, but we got close enough, and I had it in it actually at 4.25, and I said, you know what, we're close enough, and I dropped it down to $4. Ding, and it got filled. So if you have $4 on a $5 wide spread, that means you make $4 here, and I did 10 contracts. That's 4,000, and you lose 1,000 if we go higher, right? And I'll hover over here. You see that? 4,000 profit, 1,000, right over here, 1,000 loss, right? So what did I do? And again, this is very simple. We pulled back. When we started coming back down, I got filled on the call side up here. And again, you guys, this is just so simple. When we came back down here, I had levels of support here, and I said, you know what? I'm going to sell a put side here, put credit spread, right? And guess what I got for it? Literally, I got $1 for it. So if I got $1 credit, now I did 10 points wide here, but the point is, if I had $1,000 of risk on this one, I wanted to bring in $1,000 on this side. So guess what? You put them together, and I'm going to expand it. I'm going to zero in a little bit more. So again, I'm gonna zoom in real quick here. This is what it looks like. And I also, you got to be aware of what your expected move is. The expected move only got us to about, about here. So I wasn't that worried about overshooting this. The T+1 line goes up like that too. So it's real easy to get out of this thing, right? If it starts really, really free falling, you can close it at a profit, right? So again, you see over here, zero risk, 0.00. We had $4 of, or excuse me, $1,000 of risk, and then we brought in another $1,000 to make it completely zero. And the thought was that probably worst case, we just go up like this. Again, if we go free falling down here, we just close it. This thing, the T+1 line is up, and we had really good profit. Now at one point, before I even added this on, you can't see it right now, but this is really interesting to see. Our T+1 line kind of goes like this, right? And at one point I was up about $1,500 on the trade, and I was thinking, well, I should scalp that. And I had this order in and working, and it went ding and it filled, and I was like, okay, well, now I have no risk on the upside, so why don't I just keep it? There's $5,000 of profit here. Do I take this or do I take this when the market's weak? We're getting ready to go to a long weekend. Who wants to be long over the weekend? And guess what? We never pull back. Right here, we just never pull back. So the trade didn't work. Now I did post this in the bias room, and I told everybody in the room, I said, you can scalp this all day long, especially if you did not put the put side on. I would scalp it. That T+1 line goes like that, and all during the day, it goes up higher and higher, and at the end of the day, it lays on top of that green line. That's why you can't see it right now. The pink line we always used to see, it is right on top of that green line right now because this trade is expired, right? Anyway, that's the trade. Again, all I did was simply leg into a trade, and I've used this concept many years, but I've used it a lot more frequently with this market that's just going, like that. Sell the call side here, sell the put side, call side, put side, etc., and it's been working pretty well. So I want to run that concept by you. Again, this particular trade didn't work, but I think we can all learn from trades that don't work even more than, maybe if I showed you trades that works all the time, or a trade that worked all the time. It's hard to learn from it, but this, you can apply this to anything, and we could do this with Amazon or Google or Apple or whatever. But again, it's very easy on SPX, pretty liquid and easy to get in and out. But the main thing, watch how much risk you have up here on the upper end, and watch. This is important, but again, if this thing really starts free falling, I'm out over here quickly, and I don't. And don't worry about this. If it's free falling, close this side first. Don't worry about this, because this side is going to full profit. So anyway, I hope that helps. Hope it makes sense. Let me know if it does. Again, I post these in bias. I will call this a non-bias trade, because this does not fit the mold of a typical, bias trade. But again, it's just things that I'm seeing that I do take on my own. So I wanted to share that. Again, simple leg in. And and one last thing, I thought about trying to make this a butterfly and maybe a broken wing. It's basically the same concept. I just widened it out a little bit here just to give myself a little more wiggle room. And again, let me show you this real quick. So it looks, you see how it looks so far away right there, right? Well, notice, let me switch this to SPX right here. You see this lower level here? Look at this, check this out. So these levels, that's 65.50, right? That is right there. It's not that far away. This thing was moving around. The reason it looks kind of funny is because the trade really kind of looks like that. When I, before the put side's on there, we're right up against this thing. And again, I think the put side got filled at maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. So the expected move was not that big. That's why I was not really worried about that. But anyway, hope that helps. Let me know if you're in the main room. Ask questions. I can certainly help you with this. We'll try to catch these when we can. I don't throw these on just all the time. If it sets up and all of the math makes sense, I will take one in the bias room. Of course, I'll post this and let you guys know. But let me know if this helps. Let me know if it makes sense. And thanks for your time, guys. I will see you next week. Good trading. Thanks. Take care.